Hi, it's Tilde from the Ordinary Mill. In this video I'm going to show you how to do the Fern Beanie hat. What you need for that is 100 grams of double knitting. I'm using the Structure Spinners Blue Faced Leicester fleece and it's a colour fail side. You'll also need a circular needle 40 centimeters long in 4mm and some double pointed needles for when you're shaping the crown, a wee stitch marker so you can kind of keep track on your rounds, a darning needle, a pair of scissors and also a wee tape measure. So we start the beanie by casting on 102 stitches. I'm using the long tail cast on. I think it gives a nice stretchy and neat edge. Yeah, make sure you don't cast on too tight. Especially for hats, it's really important. So now we have the 102 stitches on the needles and it's time to join the work in the round. Take your stitch marker and slide it onto a needle. And now we're going to knit the rib. It's a 3-stitch repeat, so you start by doing a purl. And when you've done the first stitch, make sure you're really tightening it up to kind of close any gap between the first and the last stitch. Then do a knit and do a purl again. So the repeat is purl, knit, purl, purl, knit, purl, purl, knit, purl, and do this all the way around. Purl, knit, purl, purl, knit and purl. So you're now done the first round, so slip your marker over onto your right hand needle and then just do a double check that you haven't twisted your work, because at the moment there's only one strand attaching the work in the round, and if you have done a twist you can untwist it right now. If you knit beyond this point you can't untwist it and it will start having a twist in the knitting, so you have to rip it all out and start again. So yeah, at this point check you haven't twisted it. So you just keep going in the same pattern and don't worry about this long strand, it will even out. As long as you just do purl and then tighten up knit and purl, and then just go purl, knit, purl. So you're going to knit in this pattern for the next 10 centimeters, and when we get to that point I will show you the next step. So now we have knitted the 10 centimeters of the hat. This is the brim of the hat, and it's meant to be folded up. It's basically designed to be folded up so it looks like this. We're now changing the pattern so it fits the brim. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So now we're ready to knit the main body of the hat. So the first round of a 2 round repeat is a full knit round. So just knit all the way around. So now we got to round 2 of the 2 round repeat, and this round we are going to do a knit and a purl and a knit, and that is repeat. So knit, purl, knit, knit, purl, knit. It's the opposite of what we did for the rib of the brim. So a knit, a purl and a knit, and these 2 rounds will create this fern pattern that I want to achieve in this hat. And now I'm going to skip on until we've reached 23 centimeters measured from the cast on edge. So now we've reached the 23 centimeter, and it's time to decrease for the crown. You can try your hat on to see if you're happy with the length, and I want my ears covered, so this is, and you can see I'm at the top here, it's reaching right up to the top of my head, so that is the right length. Unless you wanted it longer, you can obviously always add more to it, but yes, I'll show you now how to decrease for the crown. So here we are, 23 centimeters. You can start the crown decreasing after a row 1 or a row 2, doesn't matter. But the way you do the first decreasing round is you knit 1 and you knit 2 together, and that is your repeat. So knit 1 and knit 2 together, and knit 1 and knit 2 together. So knit 1, 2 together. Yeah, repeat that all the way around. So now we are ready to do the second round of the crown, and this round is just a plain knit round. So we're just knitting every stitch until we reached the start of the next round. So now we've reached the third round for the crown, and it's no longer useful to use the circular needles. They're going to be far too big for this round. So before we start the round, we'll transfer our stitches over to 3 double pointed needles. So do roughly a third of the stitches over to one needle. I think that's about 22 stitches, 20 or 22 stitches roughly. It doesn't have to be accurate, by the way. So another needle. So just, yeah, slip your stitches from the back as if you're purling. So the stitches are going to lie correctly. It's a good way of getting started on double pointed needles by doing a hat before you do a pair of socks, because if you have a knitted fabric, the double pointed needles are going to sit more securely than if you're going to start off with just a cast on edge. And I'm trying to keep an even number of stitches on my needles here, so just makes it easier, because this next round we're going to knit 2 together all the way around. So I'm grabbing my fourth double pointed needle, and I will now so now we've transferred all the stitches over to 3 double pointed needles, and it looks like this, so a wee triangle, and we're ready to start round 3. So the way you do the next round is knit 2 together. So just knit 2 together, repeat that all the way around, and remember just to knit 3 on the 3 needles, so when you finish the 3 needles you have done a round. We don't have the stitch marker to guide us anymore. It's also easy to see because the first needle have significantly less stitches on it. So round 4 of the crown is a plain knit row. So knit every stitch all the way around. So round 5 of the crown shaping is knit 2 together. This is the last round you'll do, so knit 2 together, just repeat that all the way around. So when we finish the 5th round, the last round, we can cut the yarn. We got 16 stitches on the needles, and we are going to strand the yarn on, so we need to cut the yarn and take our darning needle. I like to use a nice and thick one, and you're basically just sliding the stitches over to the needle, just one by one. And then you can just pull this through. So next needle, and just take your time. There we go. And the last needle. So I'm doing it as if I'm purling. So from the back. Go. And then it's really just pulling tight, and you're closing the top of your hat, and we'll just pop the end through to the back, and we'll weave in the end. I like to just go through some of the yarn. there, just secure your yarn, and we don't only need to do one more end to weave in, that's the one down at the bottom. There we go, and we will weave in this end too. I'm weaving it in as if it's from the front, because that's actually really the back of your fold up, so it won't be visible. And then just cut the yarn. Yeah, just cut the yarn there and fold up, and there you got it. And here is the finished result. You can pop a pom-pom on if you like that look, but otherwise it's just ready to be popped on. I'm really happy with the result. So yes, please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy the tutorial.